Email deliverability is one of the most frustrating things I've had to deal with in my career. At one point not too long ago, email deliverability fell under my realm of responsibility. And if you've ever dealt with that, you know how annoying email records can be. Because when emails aren't being delivered, you end up living in DNS. And there are 3 specific records that you'll end up dealing with: SPF, DKIM, DMARC. Each one matters and they all function differently. But the one thing I always hated was having to jump between 3 different interfaces just to check my records for the same domain. That's not a UI problem I'm solving yet, but it is a building block problem for the platform. So in Asset Enrich, I wanted to add a single enrichment endpoint that could return all 3 of my records. And just for quick context, if you're not familiar, SPF tells you exactly who can send mail for a domain. DKIM is virtual signing so that you can ensure the mail is not altered. DMARC ties these 2 records together and defines enforcement policies. Now that you can see how these records are tied together, in Asset Enrich, I wanted to build a single enrichment endpoint that can return all 3 of my records together. It's really nothing new, but just follows the theme of Asset Enrich and giving us structured and accessible data. After completing my email aggregator, I moved on to another really powerful enrichment, HTTP. The overarching goal of this endpoint is simple. What can we learn from their request without ever having to visit the website ourselves? So the HTTP aggregator will pull 3 key artifacts: response headers, frameworks, and the redirect chain. This last piece is by far my favorite. Shortened URLs, tracking links, sketchy redirects, they're everywhere. And with this endpoint, we can empower users to know exactly where a link goes without executing JavaScript and without loading the page in their browser. That's useful for security checks, phishing analysis, and penetration testers. And it's useful for non-cybersecurity people too. If you ever get a suspicious link in your email, you can paste it into Asset Enrich and see exactly where it leads safely. But the bigger idea here is flexibility and control. Asset Enrich is giving people the ability to inspect infrastructure without exposing themselves directly to it. And the 2 endpoints we built today, email and HTTP, are 2 more steps in the right direction. More building blocks and more momentum. I'll see you in the next devlog.